What we see as a problem these days is that fewer and fewer people seem to actually know what the real forest is like. I mean, it's a big difference between a forest ecosystem and a tree plantation. Many of our politicians, they don't see the difference. They don't understand the difference. So when they go out and see a lot of trees, they think it's a forest. And that is obviously a very big problem when you're going to discuss what to do with the forest. However, the main conclusion about the Swedish forestry is that it makes a lot of money for the industry, but it makes much less money for the individual landowners. And when it comes to biodiversity, no one should ever believe in the false statement that Swedish forestry model is sustainable. If you want to spare in a real forest and avoid mostly having tree plantations, the Swedish forestry model should be a frightening example to neglect. That would be my advice to any country that are looking at Sweden as an example. We realized that, I mean, if we could go back in time, we should have implemented the nature directives on forestry as soon as we entered the EU, but we didn't. I mean, it took us like 20 years to even start implementing the EU laws within our forestry. And of course, if we could go even further back, we should have realized the devastating effects of clear cutting. And this is for biodiversity, but it's also for climate. The problem is that only 6% of Swedish productive forests are protected. So within those unprotected 94% of the forest, we see harvesting, and they're harvesting at decreasing age, and even the productivity is decreasing now. So as the clear cutting and the following soil scarification destroys these ecosystems, the real ecosystems are diminishing, and we're losing them. And it will take many hundred years before we can see them regenerated. So first of all, we really need to map the highest biodiversity hotspots where we still have a biodiversity in our forest landscape, and we need to protect them. And if no one actually knows where they are, I mean, the chance that they will be cut down is obvious. I want to make clear the Swedish forestry can never be considered sustainable as it is now. A clear evidence is that the numbers is decreasing of organisms that are being threatened, and mainly by the vastly dominant clear-cut forestry. This is clear evidence, but still our politicians and the industry is claiming that we have sustainable forestry. This is totally false.